Which words would you use to describe your childhood? What's three words?
The first three words that would come is happy and sad. Is that, if that's allowed? It's three words in it, so you know.
Happy and sad.
Happy and sad.
What made your childhood happy?
Family around, people who were no longer here. You know, obviously, growing up as a kid, you know, everything's fun and adventure. You know, I was always like running around or creating havoc for my mum. You know, people would always remember my mum like screaming at me, you know, because I was just a little bugger basically and everything. So, and yeah, just, you know, playing out as a kid, going out with your mates, watching the TV. You know, this is the 80s. You know, I actually sound like I'm about however old I am, but you know, it's what I remember pre-internet days. You know, when you actually phone people with a phone book and a phone box and everything. But happy is just, you know, your memories as a kid. You remember happy times, Christmases and birthday parties, and yeah, that's my happy. Like kind of memory. It's mixed up. It's not just one memory that's happy. It's kind of.
Do you think like family has a big part to play in a child's happiness?
Yes, definitely. But yeah. When you said about three words, I could say happy, checkered, and sad. Checkered could kind of mix up the happy and sad. So if I'm thinking, try to think ahead. But yeah, you know, you get people who, mum and my dad were together until I was 5, and then divorced. I saw like domestic abuse. Dad used to hit my mum. Mum used to hit.
Is that the sad part of your life now?
That's when my little mum and dad and me, because I know I was an only child, so yeah, my little world shattered. My mum was seeing my stepdad kind of, because he was a bad person, it happens, you know, that made her happy, and then went through all that kind of, you're not my dad, stepfather, more children come along, 2 brothers and a sister, so I felt like the odd one out, which kind of goes into the sad, you know, and being the geeky kid at school. Popular with the girls, not popular with the boys. Never always sometimes had the Reebok trainers and the expensive stuff, because it was expensive. Unless you went to a shop called Barker, because I'm from Carnforth, near Lancaster. So I've been in Manchester 20 years this year, St Patrick's Day. So a little shop called Bargain Box, and you know, you get like, used to be like trainers called Nicks, like Velcro straps, and you bounced, you know, you're about 10 foot tall with them and everything. So you had
to have those?
Yeah, because my mum wasn't working and my stepdad was working. He had a very bad accident, nearly killed him. Mum couldn't work because she was ill. They wouldn't let her and everything. So yeah, it was tough. We had a roof over our head, we made do. We were never like abused, you know, where people sadly go through, you know, things that go on and everything. So I was lucky. So, you know, it was happy and sad because problems with my stepdad, you know, you're not my dad, and his discipline was different to my mum's, and she left him to it, and so, and then that goes into the checkered, you know, because like the weather, sometimes it's happy, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's raining, windy, you know, so it's all a bit mixed up and everything. So
4 seasons in one day kind of thing.
Yes, it kind of beats Craig David's 7 Days. So the song.
Yeah, I understand. I get you. Did you ever imagine being anybody else? Having someone else's life at that point?
All the people at school who I went to school with, there's only like a few people from memory I remember actually getting invited to school, because some of the parents never liked my mum, because mum was opinionated, a woman from Wigan, and town people were very like in the PTA, and their kids were all perfect, and my mum was the one with the fag and telling people and whatnot. So the times I did go like to go and play at somebody's house as a kid, you know, and again looking back, it's not like I'm ungrateful for my life, you know, but you dream, you know, you, like you said, you know, you ever think about being anybody else. Probably looking at the families that their mum and proper dad were together, so you weren't getting people saying, well, at least my mum and dad's not divorced, and you know, child playground stuff that went on and everything. So I used to envy people, as in I wish I was them. You know, they had the the happy times. So, you know, that's who I used to think. It wasn't just one person. Like, we always wanted to be like a pop star or a footballer or a cricketer or something. You know, I always wanted to be the people I envied or jealous. It was a sadness even as a kid. It was really, yeah, it's bringing it all back now.
No, I get it, and that's why I asked the question. You know, it's you know, so people understand. You know, we all go through these things, and we don't realise. You know, we don't realise sometimes why we haven't got those things. We think mummy and daddy should get it for us, but we don't understand what mummy and daddy's going through, and it's just something strange that makes us feel like we haven't got enough. You know, but we sometimes, most of the time, we have more than we realise. You know. When did you first realise you were gay? I mean, did any of this stuff, the child, you know, that sadness, was that intertwined in all of that?
I remember exactly, it's not when I was gay, but I wrote a love letter to a guy. I was 5-year-old. No bull there. It was honest. I remember it clear as a day. I'm not going to mention the person's name because they're from where I come from and everything. But there's a funny story to that very quickly. But I remember writing a love letter to him. I loved him. I was 5. I gave the letter to my mum. I said, wrote the address, I knew where he lived as a 5-year-old, because there was a bugger always going about and everything, driving my mum mad, going missing. But mum, she had a leather bag, a tan leather bag, and I says, Mum, can you give this to him? This is, I want to marry him or something. And she just looked at me and just, okay. And then I remember crying and give me that letter back. And she did, and I remember ripping it up. I had a little bedroom. We used to live on King's Drive back. It's weird I remember that, yet I can't remember to pay my water bills. It's like, you know, these memories are ingrained in your head. So that was like that. And then growing up, you know, I had one girlfriend. She was kind of a secret, and I wouldn't say we were like at primary school and everything, but there was other lads more popular than me. I was the one with the big bushy hair and bargain box clothes type of thing. So I wasn't really popular with girls. Friends, yes. Like a girlfriend kiss catch thing, no. And then it was more towards high school, and then obviously, like, I can't even say this, but in the showers, and I'm like, you know, not realising why. Then I remember I liked a girl, and I remember thinking, well, if I think about it, it'll go away. So I was like 13, 14, but where I come from, I mean, the support network was different back then. It was, you know, the mid-90s type of thing. There was your gay people, but it was just the gay people, and it wasn't as in-depth as in like you coming out and all that lot. It was different, so I didn't do anything. And it was more when I was like 17. Yeah, I remember exactly where. Nightclub, coming back with the guy. We were meant to go to a chill out, and it's quite romantic in a way, because we used to have a thing called in Carnforth called the flag path that would lead from one road drive to another part of the estate, one estate to the other, and it was called the flag path. It was tarmacked over, but we knew it as the flag path, and the phone box was at the top, where I actually used to phone Childline and say I was gay and I didn't know what was going on. You'd have Esther Hansen on the phone on answer machine. This is what used to go on. And yeah, 16, 17, this guy, we kissed under a street light, and I'm going to say this, but it's true. I knew back then I was, how can I say it I was trouble in a, you know, I just remember grabbing him and we were just on a field. I was like, oh. You know what I mean? And then I stayed with him and woke up the next day and he says, I'm not gay. So that broke my heart. I was young. You know, then something bad happened to me with someone, as in kind of consensual and then a bit forced, you know, that happened. And then I started to get, I mentioned on Facebook the other day, you know, with the mental health day and everything, and I used to get Gay Times from a place called Norjack, and Julie used to work behind the counter, brilliant woman. She knew I was gay. I didn't know I was gay. Blonde hair, high voice, skinny. I'm not stereotyping, but that's what I was like. And can I get a Gay Times for my friend? Can you put it in a bag? And she'd like wink at me, you know, like, okay. And then I'd look at all the nights in Manchester and London, and Hacienda was kind of coming to an end, you know, and I used to, Flesh or something the night was on. I always wish I could go. And then I just, I went down by chance one day, Manchester, fell in love with it, fell in love with the guy, started crying, got on a bus called the Magic Bus, and I've got to come here. I felt trapped in Carnforth, where I come from, getting bullied for being gay when I had come out when I was like 17, went back in the closet and come back out again. And then
So you knew you were gay from when you were 5 years old. You pretty much had an idea of something was different.
Yeah,
And so when you're 17 at this point, you start to understand that you're
I was attracted to
men. Yeah.
Yeah. Say women then, but I slept with a girl. I'd kissed girls. I dropped her on the floor in a nightclub, but yeah, it's not my.
So would you say because obviously there's some people believe that gay men aren't actually gay.
It's just a phase.
Yeah, yeah. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is that basically the idea that people are born gay. I mean, that's what you're saying, that you were born gay.
It's not like you don't go and buy it off eBay. You know, you just.
You are what you are.
You are. I am what I am. I hate that song, but I mean, yeah, that's how it happened for me. It can be different for other people, but for me, I was young, love letter, nail varnish from Avon off my mum, but that's different. That was just being a kid, So
great.
Yeah, it was. That's how it was really. So.
Yeah, great. But it's great to understand. So look, I've come across some of your opinions. You can be quite opinionated on Facebook.
A bit.
Very heated. Do you find that sharing your experiences and your opinions on Facebook, that's a kind of coping strategy of some kind?
When I'm sat here and I'm on my laptop and I'm typing away, when I was younger it was just, you actually forget you're on Facebook because you know people on there. Sometimes I used to put like, the funny stuff is just to make people laugh. I like to make people laugh. When I've been sad, I like to. If I'm sad, I can make you happy. That makes me happy eventually. Other stuff, a lot of it was, I just wanted people to know what I'm going through. I'm not lying. And I felt like putting it down on paper, on the computer was a way of recording it, and it's people who are not in that situation, it's happening. That was my doing it, and coping. I don't get off on it. I don't like some of them. We all make mistakes and put silly pictures up, and dodgy drunken statuses, which I've been very, very guilty of, and swear like a trooper, which I'm not now. But coping, I could say it was more. The thing, if there was something I was going through and I thought other people were going through, I did it because I wanted to help other people. My friends who know me know what I'm like and know I'm doing it in a good intention or a joke. I can turn something serious into a joke, because that is a coping thing. It probably is a little bit of there's probably a little bit of a coping thing there, but I'm not doing it. It's not for attention or get the violin out, feel sorry for me type of thing, So it's yeah, I don't know if that answers it or...
No, it's fine, it's fine. It's, it's whatever you need to say, So, have you ever had a time when you felt no one was listening?
A lot. Again, it's my family, friends. I've got friends who've been there for me, left, right and centre. I must owe millions of pounds to friends who helped me out when I was younger and at rock bottom. Living in a flat with no bed, no cooker, no nothing. And I could say the comfort of strangers when I was young and, and everything. So, people who, when I say people who are meant to listen, I mean family. People have different families, strong big communities stick together. And I had a bit of a, going back to the childhood, happy, checkered and sad type of thing. And I had the same. My mum, when she was alive, was brilliant, but then sometimes she wasn't, and I don't like. I'm not saying it in an insulting way. So when I was, with my anxiety and depression, it was no one's listening. I come from a family where you'll get over it. it's just a phase.
Mm.
I've thought about...
Is that a British thing, or is that... What is that?
I was going to say it's a northern thing, but based on me being a northern person, you know, but then again...
Where do you feel? Where does that come from? Is it because people just couldn't find the time to kind of deal with those issues?
My mum's family come from Wigan, 10 of them. My grandmother was a very strong woman. My granddad he's still alive. My grandma's not. Certain people, they get on with it. You know, everyone's different. You know, you can have a nervous breakdown about your ceiling falling in, but then the other side of you, or the other person, can be like, just brush it up, get it plastered and get on with it. It might
also be a lot to do with emotional maturity as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like I say, everyone's different. My mum was a different one from, not all, but a lot of the brothers and sisters. Not all, yeah, there was a few, but my mum was the strong one in the family. So it was one of those, like, if they've been through it, you can go through it. And my dad was the same, you know. You'll be all right. Again, now there's more support for people, you know, mental health and friends, and I've got lots of friends on Facebook I've never met who are wonderful, who've done more for me than people who, family and friends, now pick up the phone. And, you know, my best friend Lee, can always ring him. He looks after his mum and everything, brilliant. So, but there's been times I've been sat here in this house and in my previous flat and other places where I felt like no one listens. But I say that with, I always defend myself a lot, you know, I'm very quick to go, I'm not saying it in a bad way, but it's the honest truth. But I've actually done that to people. I've not listened to people, and I've ignored and not picked up my phone and not listened, because I'm going through my own stuff. So I understand people work, people are busy, I get it.
There's like a timing thing, isn't it?
Yeah, there's those pockets of that loneliness and no one listening. It's not nice. It's very bleak.
Of course. So look, I've noticed you've got lots of music around. Obviously, you know, I'll show pictures, but you know, you've got loads of music around your flat, your house. In fact, so you've got a beautiful, wonderful house, and so music's a big part of your life. I can see.
Yes.
Obviously, you know, music can be very healing. Okay, I know that, but it can also be a Pandora's box. How has music affected your life?
You know, I've been through working and not working and whatnot, and didn't really have a purpose of what I wanted to do. Done the old jobs of, I was going to say barmaid, barman, you know, frilly top. Oh, I love job, mate. God, I've done all that stuff and never thought anything was beneath me. I've had to get the job to pay the bills, been through it, and then not coped with it very well and everything. But music has always been very healing. You can tell by the way I'm trying to explain it, it gets me, but it's helped me cope with my anxiety and depression, and I don't, you feel a bit ashamed to say you've got that. The doctors put that on your medical records because you feel like a failure. Going off my family, oh, you should get on with it. I'm the eldest. I'm meant to be the tough one, but I'm the weakest. You know what I mean? So music has saved my life. It's kept, I'm going to say it as it's kept me going. I probably wouldn't be here a very long time ago, probably like when my mum died, like 15, coming up 15 years, I'd have been gone. I know it sounds a bit deep and not meaningful, but sad, but that's the honest truth. I wouldn't be here. But again, friends and whatever, but music, depending on your style, rock, pop, dance, reggae, classical, there's something in the music where you're listening to it and it just gives you that rush. And it's whatever you've paid for it, or obviously I've paid for it here, you know. So I've got so many good friends now through music and connections, and I love everybody. They know that a lot of people I've not met. I've got, if I say I've got famous, but I've got people who are famous and had different levels of fame, and wonderful songwriters. And you know, I mentioned Delroy. I mentioned the group Total Contrast. It's not a plug. Delroy's been probably one of the best friends I've ever had. He'll probably cry when he watches it, but it's true. Healing music, it's the connections. It's wonderful. I think it should be I did music at school, but the music teacher, she was horrible. I didn't like her. She didn't like me. But then towards the end, she did actually send me to a studio because I used to write songs. They were like that big, and you know the chorus is 2 lines. It's like, yeah, instant hit. But yeah, it's always been healing. It's been troublesome, as in like if you're having a bad day, you don't want to listen to anything. That could be the Pandora's box. You could stick a song on, and then it'll remind me of my mum. So then I'm like, and then I'm depressed, and then I've been very low. But then I've stuck another one on. You're high again, like the weather, rainy, sunny, windy. You know, so there is the Pandora's boxes, but in general, it's good.
Yeah,
it's a good good thing.